That's good. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Steve Clark. I'm Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. I'm so pleased to be back in Brantford with Mayor Davis and Mayor Bailey and our outstanding Member of Provincial Parliament, Will Boma. Will's just been a tremendous advocate for this riding in this community. He's a tremendous caucus chair, a great friend, and I'm just glad that the four of us could be here today. The reason we're here is I'm pleased to announce an additional $1 million for the 177 Colburn Street West project here in Brantford under our Social Services Relief Fund. This brings our total commitment to the project to be $2.25 million. Here. So protecting the health and well-being of our most vulnerable have been a huge priority for our government since being elected in 2018. And to put it into perspective, starting in the fiscal year 2020, at the beginning of the pandemic, spanning until the end of this fiscal year, our government's committed over $4 billion to help sustain, repair, and in this case grow community housing for homeless or people who are at risk of being homeless. This modular housing development is fantastic, and I want to thank the City of Brantford for their dedicated efforts to provide more affordable housing opportunities. The project will make a real difference in people's lives in this community, and ensuring that everyone has a safe, secure place to call home has been a priority for our government since first being elected in 2018. One of the commitments that we made to the province, to our citizens in Ontario, is to work with our municipal partners. And this project funding source, the Social Services Relief Fund, was a fund that our government started at the beginning of the pandemic. And just to vary off my script, we were in a house a couple of weeks ago, and my seatmate to my right is Todd Smith, the Minister of Energy, but at the beginning of the pandemic, he was Minister of Children, Community and Social Services. And I asked Minister Smith, I said, when you and I stood in the legislature in front of a camera without an operator in the second week of March in 2020, and we announced that initial $20 million under the Social Services Relief Fund, did you think that a few years later we would be up to $1.2 billion? And you know, so we decided to create that fund. We decided to make it flexible so that the people in Brantford and the county of Brant can make those decisions at the start of the pandemic. So the SSRF funding provided an opportunity to build capacity, to create more units like the ones that are being built behind me. It allowed the service manager to bolster rent banks, to ensure that infection prevention and control in our shelter system was bolstered to protect not just the people there, but also the staff. And I want to thank the county and Brantford, because really our municipal partners save people's lives. Literally, people's lives were saved over the last several years because of the commitment of the Social Services Relief Fund. I also want to celebrate some of the funding that we've been able to provide. Our homelessness prevention program, we provided an additional $25 million to that program, making our commitment to ending homelessness almost $500 million. We're now up to $464 million in collectively our funding programs. The project that we're celebrating today is a great example of how our government is supporting communities as well as some of our most vulnerable through innovative, collaborative commitment with all levels of government. And again, I want to thank the two mayors behind me. I want to thank our local MPP, and I want to thank all of you for your commitment to ensuring that people have a safe, secure place to call home. So I'm excited about this project. I'm going to zip up the road. MPP Will and I are going to go see the manufacturer of the modular units. This is an exciting day for Brantford. And with that, I want to call on His Worship, Mayor Davis, to say a few words. So, Your Worship.
Thank you very much, Minister Clark. First of all, I'll say that I am feeling fine today with a negative test result this morning. On to why we're here. I think this particular development represents how our community rises to the occasion, forms partnerships, and turns what was a vacant lot into something that will be useful and productive for this city, and in doing so, addressing a number of needs and concerns in our community. And partnerships, we could not have done this without Minister Clark and the support of the Ontario government. It was their announcement about a year and a half ago of this emergency program with additional funding that led our great social services staff, led by Marlene here. They saw the advantage, they saw the opportunity, and they took advantage of it. Could not have been done without the partnership we have with the County of Brant, represented by Mayor David Bailey. We struck a partnership to do the Mayor's Housing Task Force, which I think led to the policies that we now have in place in this city that facilitated and acted as a catalyst for this particular development to bring it to fruition. So what are we going to have here? We have this vacant lot that had some environmental contamination issues, and we're now going to turn it into housing for those that are on the longest waiting list we have for housing need. And that's people who are 50 plus, below 65, who are close to needing emergency shelter, but definitely need geared to income rent. That's our longest waiting list that we have in our housing department. There will be 26 units here, primarily studio units. They'll be furnished. 4 will be barrier-free. It'll be a 4-story building. The first floor will be primarily commercial, and it's built by a local manufacturer at the airport, ANC. A terrific facility. They're creating these modular units that are now ready to go. And this particular project, you see the foundations being put in. Well, the modular units are ready to go. They're already built. This should be finished, hopefully, by Christmas. And people moving in here in the new year. That's lightning speed. The modular construction allows us to do that by a local manufacturer at less than the cost of a normal build. I mean, how many win-wins do you get? But not only that, this property, unsightly, not a positive for this neighborhood, collecting garbage. Now it's going to be a beautiful building with a really modern style, built here, and also we dealt with environmental issues. This soil was contaminated, like many other properties in our community, because of our rich industrial past. The property has been remediated to meet the requirements of the Ministry of Environment. So we've demonstrated, yes, you can build in the city of Brantford on properties that have some environmental challenges, and you can still do it, and you can still do it for a very reasonable price. So with that, I want to once again thank Minister Clark for coming down today to Brantford, seeing the manufacturer, and helping to break the ground. Well, you can see the ground's already been broken for this tremendous development. So a big hand to the province and our partner, the County of Brant. And now I'd like to do I turn it back to you, Steve? Or?
You could just turn it right over to his worship.
I'll turn it over to Mayor David Bailey.
Well, thank you, Mayor Davis, and I'd like to welcome the minister to the riding of Brantford. On behalf of my elected council, welcome. It's always nice to see you, and it's always nice to see you when you're making positive announcements like this. I'd like to recognize that I have my Councillor John Bell, with me today. Thank you for showing interest this early in the morning. You know what? These are good news stories. Infill is always a good thing. Working with Mr. Neal with the ANC company, a local yokel that I've known all my life, who does great work for us. He listens to what we needed. He put it into production. He has a wonderful plant. Minister, you're going to be so impressed when you see the way we're doing this. We're doing it right. We're doing it quickly, and we're doing it locally. I think this is a small piece of what we're up to in the county and in the city. The next time I see you, I hope you're in the county. I hope you're in Paris, and I hope you're there fairly soon.
Is that an invitation?
It certainly is an invitation. I can pick you up at any side road from between here and there. So
I'll get Will to drop me off someday.
that's right. Will drop you off. He knows where I am and he knows where you are. So thank you very much. This is a good news story for the county and for the city. The county and the city, although they're two separate things, we do social services together very well. And I am very glad to be part of this story this morning. And I know that it's just one of the many things that are coming in the next few years. Thank you very much. Oh, and this is Will Balma.
Thank you, Your Worship. I really appreciate that. And thank you, Minister, for being here, and for Mayors Bailey and Mayor Davis for both being here also today. I know I looked the wrong way there, but what I see here is such a testament to what happens when different levels of government can work together. And when we come together, and especially, I've been so impressed. I've been hearing that all week, visiting different businesses, the incredible work that social services in the city of Brantford is doing, that the economic development portion of the city of Brantford is doing in order to create opportunities so that we can build housing for those who need it most. We will be judged at the end of the day by how well we take care of our most vulnerable in the positions that we have. And being at announcements like this proves the commitment that our levels of government have in making those things happen. Projects like this one are critical because we know the province has a shortage of housing supply that impacts all Ontarians, no matter their background or their budget. And I want to express my appreciation for everything that the city of Brantford is doing to make housing, attainable housing, affordable housing, a reality for so many. And that's why I'm so pleased to be here at 177 Colburn Street West. These new affordable homes, as you've heard, will help to serve some of our most vulnerable residents from Brantford for the years to come. Ensuring that every Ontarian has a safe place to call home is such a critical goal for our government. And it's also a critical goal for myself as the local MPP. The Ontario government is pleased to support this project. It is such an incredible example, again, of what we can achieve when we work together. Thank you all for being here. And I can't help but also say hello to Councillor Dan McCreary here from the City of Brantford. Thank you for being here for this announcement also. So I would like to open it up now for any questions from media.
I wondered if, I understand affordable housing is the topic today, but there's another topic that's very important to a lot of people, especially in Brant County, as I recall, and that's the official plan and approval of the official plan, because if I understand the issue correctly, development's being held up, things aren't happening as quickly as they should, because the official plan has not yet been approved by the government.
That's right.
Can you give me an update and let us know what's happening with that?
Yeah, so I've got a lot of official plans at the ministry right now. We're reviewing them all. Obviously, we're looking at them with a view of how these official plans, which as you know are basically the development playbook in Ontario's 444 municipalities, how it molds with our commitment to Ontarians that we made in the election this past summer to build 1.5 million homes over the next decade. So it's a huge priority for us. We are going to start moving the official plans through the process with that lens of providing more housing opportunities. So it's be patient. They're coming very soon.
Another question, another issue that's important to a lot of people, especially over the county, is the green belt. And I was wondering if you can give us an update as to where the status of the green belt in Ontario and the plans for that now. And can we expect an announcement soon?
Yeah, well, prior to the election, we did an extensive consultation regarding urban river valleys, adding the possibility of adding those to the Greenbelt. We had a number of council resolutions. We had a number of directions from members of council and affected groups about how the government should move forward. So we're taking all of those comments to heart now that the election's over, and we'll be reviewing them and announcing the path forward in the very near future as well.
Mr. Cole, two questions.
Sure.
Again, it's official plan related.
Yep. Yeah, so, I think what we're doing is, there are a number of municipalities that haven't taken the time, as the county has done, to look at all of the development opportunities within their municipality. You're not necessarily the problem, but there are some problem children in Ontario that have decided, for whatever reason, to go against staff on lands that could have been brought into various urban boundaries. So it's those municipalities that are holding up the process. We wanted to make sure that with a strong mandate that we review all of the playbooks for all of the counties. It's going to be very soon that Brant and other counties will know exactly where they stand. I realize that the delays are causing some uncertainty in some municipalities. We want to remove that as soon as possible. Yep. Yes, well, it is a yes. I just can't tell you when. No, we're going to be approving official plans. So yes, so I'm not going to pull out any section of any official plan and comment on. So, yep.
Good. Anyone else? No. Well, then I'd like to again thank you everyone for coming and for seeing this project move forward. And we'll conclude this event now. Thank you.